Welcome to Dandysoap DIY, and Merry Christmas. Let's do some country Christmas projects, starting with the vintage button tree. Now this handy little frame here I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cover it with some black felt. That'll really make the buttons stand out and pop. And once I glued it into place, I then trimmed it. But make sure that you use Mod Podge. I used hot glue, and later on I seen I should have used Mod Podge. Now I'm just taking some cord here to outline where to put the buttons and just leave it in place for the time being. And I'm using wooden buttons. I bought a package of 100. They're assorted sizes, and it will take you a few minutes to figure out and get it the size that you need. So you'll need to work at this. It's not as easy as it looks. It will take some ingenuity and a little thinking and adjusting. And once you get everything kind of fitted and as broad as you want it, then decide on getting some color buttons to make like lights. I would not move them until I begin gluing them, and leave them where they are. When you get them glued, then you can go back and put in the colored buttons and just move your cord out of your way once you've gotten all of your surface ones in place. Now I had a little tin star, and I painted it and made it a little brighter and glued it on there. And then I decided to put some verbiage, and rather than using stickers on this felt, I used my glitter glue sticks and wrote out the words with a marker and then followed it with the hot wax. She turned out absolutely beautiful. It is very stunning, and it looks so vintage and nostalgic. Now here's a clever little idea to make your own potpourri tree. This is a high-end item. This runs about $40 if you buy one, so I figured I'd make one. I took some of my chicken wire and I cut it to the size that I wanted. I wanted just a shorter tree. You can make these very tall if you like. And you'll just shape it and form it till you get it just right. It will take you a minute, but take your time, be patient with yourself. And I wanted mine the diameter, the bottom of my lid of a Tostitos salsa jar. Now you see me placing the potpourri inside there. What you will figure out is, yes, it will fall through the holes, but as you pack down potpourri, it will settle. It'll find its own spot where it feels very comfortable, and then just place the other ones back inside, just as I did. Now, as you can see here, I grabbed me a tin can and propped it in it. This will give me an opportunity to get my lid situated. And once I sized it, I took a black paint marker and, of course, painted the sides that would be visible. Hot glued it on, and you'll just turn it just like you're screwing on the lid. And as you can see here, it is packed down really, really good, and you just work it and keep packing. And I used the whole package on mine. Now I put some E6000 in two spots and then hot glue in the other. And this was just a small little miracle. I literally landed that thing on there just right the first try. And I was so happy because of the hot glue. And voila, we have our beautiful potpourri tree. This is Flameless Scenting. Now next, I did take that little Tostitos salsa jar and decided to decorate it up. Grabbed my black and white checkered ribbon and its fabric, glued it on, and I had this Merry Christmas I had gotten last year and just put it on the jar. I have black cord. Wrap it around the top there. You could use jute twine, which looks beautiful. And I had these little picks from the package I got from Dollar Tree. And so I just kind of put me a little bit of greenery and the little mini pine cones. So here's you an idea. Take the lid off your Mod Podge and glue it in the bottom to create a surface. Put your faux snow and then put your tea light on top. This is the 2-in-1 wooden star, and I saw a Pinterest that inspired me. So I seen the one from Dollar Tree, and I saved the jute twine. The way it's strung is kind of unique. So what I decided to do, and you are going to love this. I painted mine the elephant chalk paint, dry brushed it with the white, and took a pencil and wrote out my words. Stay to the right side. On the right angle of every side of the star, you'll write your word. And on the center one, I put Mary. So the first angle here, I'm putting believe. And then peace. And I did this with my white paint marker. I did my love, my joy. And the joy is running vertical. And then I did Christmas. So I wanted you to see some different ideas with this. So if I leave it just like this, which is beautiful, and I took the Mary and my black marker and just blackened it on the sides. This way you don't even have to dry brush it with a paintbrush, and you just rub it and it'll give it that smudge look. So here's your first idea. You can put them together, use them separately. And on the Mary, I did a little more three-dimensional with my paint marker. Put some holly on it with my paint markers as well. This one is a lighter green paint marker, but it's all I had, and it looked really nostalgic and vintage. I had this left over from another Dollar Tree item that I tore off. Put it on there, and it looks great. Now here's you another high-end item that I've come up with a great idea. These are the 3D chunky trees. I took the black foam core board. You could use white if you like. One side you're going to measure 10 inches, the other side 7 inches. Then you'll create your triangle. So you need to decide how wide you want your tree to determine how tall. And you'll just draw your line from the side of the width to the top point and make them both meet. So here's the idea. Use wrapping paper and glue it on there with Mod Podge. Once you Mod Podge the outer part, you're going to trim off the difference. Give it a moment, just trim it roughly until you get your upper coating of your Mod Podge. So you'll do the paper to it, then you'll put your coating on the outside, let it dry. Grab your sponge, your sanding sponge, and just do the sides at an angle just like I'm doing. I had a tear here, and that was just fine because it really turned out nice. I just Mod Podged it back. I got a little too rough with my sanding sponge. Took the stain, the antique stain, and went down the edge, and you could use a black magic marker. Glue the small one on the top, wrap it with jute twine. And these turned out so gorgeous. They look totally high-end. The high-end ones cost about $44 a set. You might get them on sale and find them cheaper, but you can make this with your own gift wrap paper. I glued a bell on it, and I took a spool and wrapped it with a paper to make my easel. So here I have you a bonus Christmas ornament. You are going to love it. Grab those buttons again that you may have used making your button tree on the felt, and get your floral wire, or any wire. If you have the wired G-twine, you could just pull the wire out. Create you a small little loop in the bottom just to hold it. Choose 4 small ones or more that are the same size for the trunk. And then for the tree, find ones large, medium, and small to the tiny one on top. And literally slide them down that wire and stack them together. I had some wooden stars that my husband had cut me out, and the extra wire wrap around the star to secure it. And that is going to make it into this adorable little Christmas tree ornament. And of course I put a G-twine hanger. And it's just lovely. So if you enjoy these DIY videos, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate when you subscribe to the channel and join the DIY team. And here they are, our array of all our projects we did for our country Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Until the next DIY, well, I'll be crafting, y'all. Merry Christmas and have a great new year.